Soul Talk is brought to you by Godlywood Studio, Brahma Kumaris.
I would say my journey towards addressing human trafficking globally today has happened because of the collectiveness, the trust that these organizations that came along with me in the last 26 years as state partners, as district partners, as country partners, to envision our vision together on how we can end slavery. Hello everyone. It's so wonderful this morning to be here at the Brahma Kumaris headquarters. I'm Hasina Karbhi. I come from Shillong, Meghalaya, which is closely known as Scotland of the East, a northeastern part states which is also part of the Seven Sisters and one brother. I am basically a young woman who started his journey when I was just 17. Looking back 26 years now, the journey that I started very simple in my hometown, in which it inspired me that I should be part of changing the world and the perspective and bringing every woman and children their rights. When I go back as a young girl, I still remember I was very much involved in my extracurricular activities in my school, which is St. Joseph's School, which is very near to my hometown and my house. As a young girl, I was very actively involved and waiting for my weekend to volunteer my services in engaging myself with the community. In the course of engaging myself to the community, I had so much question in myself. Those questions was, why should we just give people charity? Why can we not lift them with their rights when we have constitutional rights, when we have the basic rights, when they have the human rights? This question was triggering me. This question was often asked deep inside me. And as a process, as I completed my secondary high school, I got myself and a group of friends and we said we should form a leadership training service alumni. And that alumni was the journey that we would get together and look for answers how we could give the community in my hometown the basic rights. I was working with women and children then, and that get together of young people who are actually alumni of the LTS give birth to the organization that I am running for the last 26 years, Impulse NGO Network. But personally, when I look back, the journey of the actual starting off of the organization did not happen just by chance. It was an inner thought that was disturbing me, that I could be bringing rights of people and make them realize that the basic human right is a human right for everyone. As a young woman at that point, I was growing up to look around me and saw that women in my community had so much of skills, had so much of traditional skill. And the village that happens to be the adjacent village of my grandmother, which is called Sinten, was very rich with craft and basically weaving of bamboo. I would basically take this effort every Saturday to go down to the village. And as I go to the village with my eldest brother, who would definitely go to the farm, I would stop by to spend time with these women. My aspiration at that time, my dream was that each woman has to have economic development. The choice to make decision with the strength of economic development and market access was what I wanted to do very closely. I work into that journey, and today when I look back, the journey gave birth to another organization, which is Impulse Social Enterprises. But in the course of time, the challenges that came along where policies and laws were not allowing women in these villages to actually get the raw material, which is bamboo and cane. The effect of that, because of the ban on forest resources, which is basically timber, but it affected even the use of bamboo and cane, and women were left with any kind of raw material. That affect the community that I was working with very badly. Right in front of me, I was basically witnessing how migration was taking place. This migration that was really resulting into any kind of fact-checking was very, very disturbing, because I was seeing young women, young children were sent out to work as domestic help outside the state. As I was trying to look into it with my group of friends and trying to understand how this was happening, I got my eyes open up. There was a huge problem of human trafficking. And these young children that was being taken out of my state in Meghalaya was actually going missing. And as I was unveiling my journey with my neighboring states in the northeast of India, found that there were more and more children and women going missing from the region in search of economic development, in search of livelihood. That was something that I decided that it was very important for me not just to look at economic development, but to focus on providing rights to these people who are affected with being duped, being taken out of the region, being sexually exploited, being exploited as labor. And the journey of working towards the cases, I did not have any solution. I worked through the simplest way of connecting myself to the vast group of organization through a consultation that I was part to be participating, called the Action Against Trafficking and Sexual Exploitation. That day was the day that I was awake with understanding that this world was actually having a huge problem of human trafficking. And human trafficking is not just, it does not consist of men and women, but largely even children was widely affected. I was very disturbed that I came back home after the consultation and decided that I should connect myself to the people I met in that consultation and do something about it. That journey that me and my governing board, founding board members, Rosanna Lingdor, decided to step forward and connecting with the people that I met in that consultation. It started with an email campaign. It started with this journey that if you find anyone who belong to the northeast part of India, which is very isolated, which is actually not connected, that was 26 years ago, you should connect back to us. We are here to help the people whose right has been deprived, who has been enslaved in the modern slavery. And the first connect was 2 girls that was rescued from sex trade in Kamatipura in Mumbai, was the girls that we intervened. Prerna, another organization that was working in Kamatipura then to provide rights and justice for these women and children, got in contact with me. The 2 girls open up the journey that it is just not 2 of them, but 1,000 and millions of them that are enslaved in this modern form of slavery, where people are being duped, are being taken to other countries. They were given the dreams, but the dreams are being exploited. And there was no looking back for me personally. I think to me, working with numbers and thousands of cases over the last 26 years, it is so much overwhelming. It's so much, sometimes very disturbing. But I think my own personal journey is when I meditate. I meditate a lot to calm myself that every case out there that we are responding as an institution, we have a larger responsibility. And the action that came along was the response through the 6 R's, that the law enforcement cannot be working alone. Report the case, engaging them into rescue operation. It's a criminal act, so we need to work together. The rehabilitation, the mental health of these survivors of human trafficking is an important element. When we are talking about the mental health in the rehabilitation sector, we need to engage, the deeper soul searching, the strength building of the survivors of human trafficking, and working towards that collectively with various organizations. Repatriation is a right that we engage through our 6 R's, that they need to go back to the country they come from. Reintegration, getting back into the economic and the choices. And also looking that here we are, restitution is something. So when we are talking about the 6 R's, beyond a reintegration in the communities, that every human being has a right to go back to where they come from, and the choices to stay back with the support of economic development is the restitution, which is also the compensation that they need to get. I would say my journey towards addressing human trafficking globally today has happened because of the collectiveness, the trust that these organizations that came along with me in the last 26 years as state partners, as district partners, as country partners, to envision our vision together on how we can end slavery.